Hi, this is cybersecurity expert and technology consultant Reginald Andre, and this is day 3 of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And our topic today is all about Wi-Fi. So, if your business has Wi-Fi in your office, if it's a manufacturer business, a dental office, a retail store, no matter what it is, if your business has Wi-Fi, you're going to want to listen to this video because I'm going to be giving you some important information, not just fluff information, not clickbait information, but real life scenarios and real things that you can go do your next day at your office so that you're going to be able to test this to see how secure your Wi-Fi is. So now, a lot of you may be saying Wi-Fi and cybersecurity, like what does that have to do with anything? How can someone use my Wi-Fi to break into my system? You know, a lot of people think that hackers are some, a 16-year-old kid in Kendall or a guy in a hoodie, somewhere in Iran or China. But no, hackers actually are physical people that will physically go to your business and sit in front of your parking lot, sit in front of your office, and will break into your systems that way. So for those of you that, again, don't know, it's Cybersecurity Month, so I will be going live for the whole month of October. So please go ahead and like and subscribe to our page so that you can get the little ding when I go live, because it's not going to always be the same time. So just go ahead and like and subscribe right now. That way you can always know when we're going live. So let me give you a little history. About 10 years ago, when Wi-Fi was coming out, a lot of the security wasn't there. So what businesses would do, what corporations would do, is that they would actually have 2 different internet connections. And with those 2 different internet connections, it would be the best way to make sure that the data for your office was secure. And then when a guest came into your building, your retail shop, or whatever the case is, they would use the guest. Because if you have 2 separate internet connections, you're essentially separating the network. There's no way that someone that's on a guest network can then tie in and go into your private network. But as times have changed, technology has changed and improved a lot. That was no longer the case. And you could start using the same one internet connection. So now you don't have to pay Comcast or AT&T or Hotwire. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to pay 2 separate internet connections. You can now just have one internet connection, and then from there you can then have, for example, a private network, and you can have a guest network. So if you have a private network and a guest network, I want you to right now put a little yes on the comments below. And I want to see how many people have a private network and a guest network. And like I said in earlier, I'm going to be telling you how you can check to see how private and how secure that is. So if you have a business and you have a guest that comes into your office, what Wi-Fi name and password is your receptionist, or are you giving that visitor? Do you only have one network name and you're just giving everybody that wireless name and password? If that's the case, that is not secure, because if that login gets into the wrong hands, hackers have easy tools that they can then use to break into your system and get your files. So the proper way of doing this is to have a guest network and a private network. So if you are a coffee shop, you could have coffee shop management as one name, and you can have guests as another name. But the most important thing about this is that it needs to be set up correctly, because just because you have a management and a guest doesn't mean that someone's into the guest and they can't be able to see the files or see the network of the management. It has to be set up properly, and not any device or any router can actually do this. You have to have a router that can actually separate it with what is called VLAN and some other things that you can do. So this is what I want you to do when you get to your office. I want you to go, and if you do have a private network and you do have a guest network, this is how you're going to be able to test to see if your IT company actually set it up correctly. This should work 99% of the time. I want you to go into your guest network, and then I want you to print. And if you're able to print on the guest network, 99.99%, your IT company or the person who set it up wrong. Because if you're on a guest network, you should not be able to see anything on the private management network. So try that and leave on the comments below if that was successful or not. So as I mentioned before, hackers don't have to be a million miles away. They don't have to be in another county to break into your system. What they're doing now is they're literally going in front of your office, and they are depending again if it's a retail shop or whatever the case is, and they are now looking at the Wi-Fi names, which is why you should typically not name the wireless name the name of your company. So if your business name is called Mila Condominium or let's just say Mila, it should not be Mila Management. It should be maybe abbreviated or just a different name, because you want the hackers to work a little harder and not just give them the name just like that. So if you only have one network, this is what the hackers can do. The hackers go into your business. Hey, can I get your Wi-Fi name? Or let's just say, for example, they're a competitor. There's so many different things. You can see so many news articles where you actually had competitors hire someone bad, and they went and they got onto the network, maybe through a job interview or whatever the case is, and they were then able to get into the network. And once they're in the network, there's tools that they can do to then scan all the files on your network. They can put what is called ransomware, which is something we're going to be talking about. And there's a lot of bad things. So when you get to the office in the morning, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go onto the guest network, and I want you to test and do a print. And if you can print, you're set up wrong. Also, if you go into your office and you ask whoever, hey, what is the wireless names? How many wireless names, or it's also called SSIDs? How many of those that we have? And if that person tells you, oh no, if a guest comes in, this is the wireless name and password. If an employee comes in, it's the same wireless name and password. You have a problem. You are very, very susceptible to getting hacked, because with that information, someone can then give you, can do a lot of bad things. So I hope this was very helpful for you. Again, every day we're going to be going live. We're not going to be giving you any fluff. We're going to be giving you real world scenarios that you can then go to your office the next day and test to see how vulnerable I am, because it's October Cybersecurity Month, and we want to make sure that you're secure. Take care.